Hello and welcome to another Imaginary Friend episode of We Only Look Thin. I am one of your hosts. I am Donald Weigel. I have lost about 100 pounds. I've kept it off for 7 years-ish. And with me, as always, is...
Catherine Weigel, non-imaginary friend. I prefer to look at it that way.
Yeah, no, you're a real friend.
True friend of Donald Weigel, wife of 27 years.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah. I'm a Tiny Habits certified coach, a Thrive Global certified coach. I've lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for over 7 years. And we make a lot of imaginary friends on this very podcast.
We do. Oh, I'm gonna tie in the imaginary friend in a bit. You wait.
Should I just go on with my friends, who I think my friends are?
Sure.
Okay. Well, we've talked about our friend of the show, Gretchin Rubin.
Oh yeah, Gretchen Rubin. Boy, we've been going back to Gretchen Rubin
we've
quite
been
a
priming
bit lately.
that pump, emptying that well. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been going back to that a lot because she has a lot of great advice. So I feel like she is a friend of the show.
It's true.
And she liked as many as one of my comments on her Facebook feed. So
well, you're basically best. You two are basically best friends.
We
like,
are.
You and I are like good friends, but you and she are basically best friends.
Well, and I think I really appreciate, and this is serious. I'm not, I appreciate that she takes so much time in really dividing the nuances of habits and of really finding ways that make sense for you instead of trying to fit someone else's mold. And I think as like growing up, I was not the cool kid. I know in the last episode, I think I said I was a cool kid.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I wanted to fit in. I wanted to kind of like run with the pack and not make big noise and not really define myself. I actually was never like in middle school and high school. I was never like a goth or a grunge or whatever. I never really committed to anything because I felt like it was too much to like announce who I was.
You were kind of grungy when we met, though.
Sorry. I was a bit of a grunge. No, but like I never felt 100% committed to anything. I was afraid to really like stake my claim. So I just kind of went through a lot of things, which again, it's variety, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I really admire people who have strong voices and strong opinions who are not afraid of voicing those opinions.
Yeah.
And nothing speaks to more clarity of vision, desire, and focus than Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Well,
He announced.
I mean, of all of the great people throughout history, I should have known
That Sir Mix-a-Lot.
that you would be talking about Sir Mix-a-Lot.
But here's the thing. A bold voice. In the year 1992, the year of my high school graduation,
Yeah.
when I was afraid to commit to anything, Mr. Sir Mix-a-Lot,
Mr. Sir?
Mr. Sir Mix-a-Lot,
Yeah.
proclaimed loudly on the top 100 songs of 1992 his preference for a physical attribute.
He sure did. And you know what? He could not lie about it.
He could not
lie. He was not capable of lying about this preference.
Well, but if you think about it, if you go back to 1992, the waif heroin chic look was sweeping the nation.
Yeah, that's
Everybody was doing or thinking about heroin. And Sir Mix-a-Lot said, oh, no, au contraire, mon frère, that he enjoyed, he liked big things. And he could not lie. He said it in the song. He was not a shrinking violet.
Are you afraid to say big butts? Is that...
He likes big butts, and he could not lie.
Yeah.
And he went on to expound upon in using many adjectives about all of it. And but he just said what he wanted and why he wanted it. And he just said, this is it. This is what is happening. I am staking the claim.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's not like he wasn't thinking about what he should like.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was thinking about what he did like.
Yeah. And I think it emboldens each and every one of us to really embrace what we really love, who we are at our core. If he came out with like the Twig song, like, yeah, Sharon's fun, like Like that didn't, like you can't write authentically about something that you don't actually care about.
Yeah, if he wasn't passionate about women's posteriors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it really, at that time, that heroin chic was actually a thing. And we can laugh about it, but really, when you are bold enough to declare your preference, you are taking a stand against status quo. And I think, especially being someone who was overweight most of her childhood and adult life, we just kind of want to fit in. We don't want to make a big, like, ruckus or rumpus.
Yeah.
We just want to go with the flow. We want someone to tell us what to do. And in the last few episodes, we have been challenging our listeners to consider the loopholes that we invoke that go against our goals. And in the last episode, we invoked Gretchin Rubin's distinctions in considering your habit preferences for sort of this or that, square peg, round hole. And we are going to dive a little bit deeper today. Again, the first time ever on live television, marrying Sir Mix-a-Lot and Gretchen Rubin into a super duo, really an unlikely pairing like Run DMC and Aerosmith, into a sort of a walk this way kind of situation, marrying two different forms to make the same message.
You know, some people think they should walk this way, but really they want to rock this way.
Oh, I forgot about that. They're taking it in different ways. But we can take two seemingly unrelated pop culture figures and put them into one podcast episode to make a super episode. And in this one, again, Sir Mix-a-Lot, he said what he liked and what he preferred. And so often we get stuck into that mental framework of thinking about what we should do, what we should like. I should like broccoli, or Donald, in Donald's case, I should like rutabaga. I should like exercise. I should do this because that's what society says I should. And so often, like, we don't even know why we do certain things. It's just like, well, that's what everybody does. That's what they say you should do. And we grow up with people telling us what we should do. Oh, you can't eat that because if you do, you're going to gain weight. Oh, well, the only way to get thin is to do it this way. And we rely on these, like, well-intentioned but totally inaccurate, like, messengers to tell us what we should do. And then we feel like failures when we don't do it. Yeah.
So there are big shoulds in the world, things that we have been kind of indoctrinated into believing, conditioned that we think we should do. And these big shoulds, they're cultural, social, and sometimes internal expectations of what we think we have to do. But here's the thing. That should is often based on an imaginary friend, an imaginary person who's not really you. So, in other words, all of these things, things like, I should run. Well, but I hate it. So saying I should run is based on some other person who actually enjoys running. I should lose weight before summer because that's bathing suit season. Or I should eat kale and meditate and journal every day.
Yeah.
But that's not the kind of person I am. I don't like kale. Meditation's not for me. I find journaling to be hokey. Look, maybe you love all those things.
How very much.
But I'm not even saying that I feel that way. But, all of those things are based on somebody who may not be you. So, we talked about those this or that ideas last time. Maybe you are not a kale person. Maybe you are not a meditation person. Maybe you're not a journaling person. Maybe you're not a runner. But there probably are things that you would actually enjoy and get the same benefits and results from.
Well, and when we fall into the trap of that sort of like the royal we, the society says, we grow up with these messages. Actually, in Thrive Global Certified Coaching, they call them paradigms, kind of belief systems that we have about how things should get done, how, like, what the appropriate way to do something is. And when we just blindly follow what historically has been the truth and we don't fit into it, we said this before, of like, it just doesn't work for us, or we feel like we can't be compliant. When we feel like we're failing the system, then we feel like failures. We feel like we just weren't made to lose weight, made to be healthy. And when we start questioning those ideals or those paradigms or the things that other people say, once we start questioning that, that's where that power comes from. Again, I had so many people say, you'll never lose weight if you eat pancakes. You'll never lose weight if you don't join a gym. You'll never, whatever it is, fill in the blank. When we believe that, even if people think they're trying to inspire us, if it diminishes us, then it's not helping toward our health goals.
Well, and I think a lot of that too comes from, the idea that if I exercise, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I'm a bad person. Or that, kale is a good food and Doritos are a food for bad people.
Morally, like questionable people.
Put these moral judgments on it. And it's just, food is just food and exercise is just exercise. There isn't a moral component to either of those things.
Exactly. So again, it leads to burnout and shame and disconnecting from ourselves. And we get farther and farther away from understanding what we really value. And Gretchin Rubin, run to the show. Sorry. She points out that...
I don't know why you said it like that.
That these... I should be able to ... expectations usually reflect in what works for someone else. And we use that as like the gold standard of, well, if someone else is doing it that way, then that's the way I should do it instead of doing it for us. And we talked about this on the last episode. It's like morning people can get up early, but night owls, it's really challenging. And if we think that our way is like, well, I'm a night owl, so I'll never lose weight.
Yeah.
Like that's not going to work. Again, moderators know how to have a little bit of ice cream, but abstainers might feel better if they don't have any at all. Marathoners work slow and steady and predictable, and they pace themselves. But sprinters do their best work when they can get it all done in one big burst. And again, that should advice only works if it fits our nature. Maybe some things like that you should do, like, yeah, I should eat fruit and I love fruit, but there are people in Wolt Place who do not like fruit.
Yeah.
Right. And if I just say, well, if you don't eat fruit, then you might as well leave the group because there's no hope for you. Once we can adapt and recognize, hey, this is my preference. How can I make it work for me? Again, that is where the power comes from.
Well, and even sometimes, and I talked about this on the last episode, even sometimes we think, well, I really like watermelon, but I don't like oranges. But I feel like I should be eating oranges and watermelon. Well, maybe it's okay just to eat watermelon if that's what you enjoy and, you'll keep doing it.
Exactly. So again, there's a lot of harm in just having this mental chaos of judging yourself for all of the should you're thinking of. So, and when you buy into that should mentality, we feel like we're lazy or weak or undisciplined, but really we're just using the wrong approach. So when we approach from a mindset of I really should track my calories. I really should get to the gym. I really should be able to control myself. Even those just kind of blanket ideas of I am just not worthy enough because I can't get myself to do this, it takes away our opportunity to experiment and to find out what really works for us and what brings value and joy into our lives. So again, Donald is going to transition us in, but instead of thinking of what you should be able to do, we want to focus on finding things that we want to invest in, things that we can add to our life.
So here are some ways to really clarify what you want. So instead of doing what you think you should do what you want to do, but focus on what gives you similar or the same benefits. So the first thing to do is Notice every time you say should,
Yeah.
pause and ask yourself, who says I should do that? And
Yeah.
do I agree that I should do that? Is this something that I think I should do? Or is this something that I've just, grown up believing that I should do? And is there something that I really want to do that would give me the equivalent effect? I should go running. Well, but maybe what I actually want to do is just dance in my kitchen while I'm cooking. And maybe I will get a similar benefit out of doing that instead of actually going out and running. Well,
and I think, in the generation that we grew up in, I don't know what our Gen Alphas are listening to right now.
Yeah.
But we grew up with such a, because I said so.
Yeah.
Don't question it. Just do it. Don't rock the boat. Just get it done. And we get so conditioned to just that random, well, you don't do that. Well, why? Well, don't ask questions. Just do it. And I'm not even a questioner, Donald is. But when we actually dig a little bit deeper and get to the core of our belief systems, we can kind of unpack things and go that doesn't serve me anymore. That might have worked 5 years ago, but it doesn't serve the me of today. So again, this summer, we're kind of asking you to really question your habits and your mindset and the sort of why behind why you're doing certain things. And that takes it gives us the opportunity to pause and really examine what we're doing. So again, and this might be when no one is watching. When Donald obviously dances in the kitchen.
I always dance like no one's watching.
But if no one was paying attention, if you were the only person on earth and nobody cared what you looked like in a unitard, what would you do?
Yeah.
Right? You're not doing it for...
Oh, I'd be wearing that unitard, that's for sure.
For vanity or for the number on the scale or because of the judgment of your doctor. If you were going to move and gyms didn't exist, what would you do? How would you find pleasure? Well, I really like gardening. Great. Garden. Do all of the gardening things. And when we stop to really examine, again, what is your preference? Well, I just want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. We're not talking about that passive surrender to because I know what happens when I just sit on the couch and eat whatever I want. I gain 100 pounds.
Yeah. When we say do what you want to do, we're not saying just, open up a Costco sized bag of chips and eat the whole thing. We're saying, if there's exercise that you hate, think about the exercises that maybe you wouldn't hate or possibly even enjoy.
Right. So again, I don't know why we're this is the season of watermelon, but it's I don't like 50 kinds of fruit. I heard apricots are good for me. I don't like them. Okay, what do you do? Eat that.
Yeah.
Do more of what you like and less of what you think you should do. So again, an exercise that we might consider, and we've done this before, we did an episode called the Three Wise Men or something like that, asking yourself why.
Yeah.
So again, write down your goal or your aspiration and then ask a series of why questions. So again, well, I really should exercise. Right. And if you stop there, but I can't get myself to do it. So I'm okay, well, why do you want to exercise? Well, because I know it's good for me. Well, why is it good for you? Well, because it gives me more energy and I have more confidence. Well, why does that matter? Well, because I want to feel energetic and strong and capable. Well, why? Well, because I'm aging and I want to be independent and flexible and I don't want to rely on others. I want to be able to carry my groceries. I want to be able to get upstairs. I want to be independent and travel. Okay, so your movement matters to you not because that's what your gym teacher said in 7th grade. It matters because you care about your independence and mobility. So the next question is, so how do you like to move? What do you want to try? It takes it from this punitive judgment, you're going to get graded on this, and turns it into, I like moving my body, and this is how I'm going to do it. It's not about getting a check mark off on a habit chart. It's about, hey, here's today. How can I invest in my body in a way that feels good to me? So that changes it from the should into wanting to do something, which feels a lot different. So again, maybe you're just going to garden. You're just going to garden and you hate the treadmill. So don't use the treadmill. Embrace the things that you like, because if we don't, we're going to resent doing it, and resentment leads to not doing anything at all. And then we associate movement or food with punishment instead of enjoyment.
Yeah. So, we're all familiar with creating a to-do list. So another exercise to try is, instead of a to-do list, create a should list versus a want list. So actually, take a piece of paper, or you can do it digitally too, and split it in half. And on one side, you have shoulds, and on the other side's wants. So I should run for 30 minutes, but what I want to do is go swimming. I should eat broccoli, but what I want to do is eat watermelon, as we've established. And figure out, go through and think about, this is what I should do in order to lose weight, to hit my health and fitness goals. But on the other side, right, these are the things that I want to do that would give me similar results that I actually could get myself to do.
Right. And I think when we start letting go of those prescriptions of what other people tell us to do and lean into what investments feel good right now, the should can be that negative of, I really should stop watching so much TV.
Yeah.
Right. But instead of that, what addition can you make to your life? Instead of, I shouldn't sit on the couch as much, make it, I really love taking evening walks in summer. Instead of, I really should cut out carbs, be, I really want to enjoy summer vegetables. What can we add to our life instead of thinking of that subtraction and that that rigidity and that conformity? And once we are able to, from the last episode, understand our preferences and then embrace, again, bespoking. I guess you don't bespoke something. Instead of designing the summer that we want, designing the experiences that we enjoy, and really kind of tying back to what gave us enjoyment or pleasure when we were younger, right? When we didn't have those constrictions of I'm going on a bike ride because I like riding my bike. I like the little bell on it that goes ding, ding, ding. I like that. I like the wind in my hair. And thinking of it as, I'm not doing this because it burns 300 calories an hour. And I've actually had people say that of I need to find out what exercises I can do to burn as many calories as possible in 30 minutes. Instead of that rigidity of, I'm investing in movement that I enjoy. I'm investing in food that I enjoy. And a lot of it comes with, again, that difference between those passive surrenders into indulgences that again, I know what happens when I let myself just eat whatever my body intuitively tells me
right,
to eat.
For sure.
I know where that will take me. That will take me 100 pounds up the scale. But if I'm really thinking of my quality of life and my enjoyment of my life, it's not that I shouldn't drink every day. It's, I feel a lot better. I sleep better when I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
My mood is more consistent. I feel more energized. I have less brain fog. I'm not doing it because it's a punishment. I'm doing it because it's an investment. And the more we can advocate for our own best interest and really pay attention to things that make us feel excited. Maybe you don't love, and this actually happened to someone I know recently, where it was at home, my partner doesn't do any exercise, but when we travel, suddenly he's getting 15,000 steps a day. Why is he so lazy at home? Why can't he do whatever? It's, I like novelty and adventure and exploring. So do more exploring. It's not about if you don't like a rebounder, don't use a rebounder.
I should be riding my exercise bike, but what I want to do is just ring the bell on my bike for exercise.
Sure, you get that thumb strength. You can get in there.
And like all of your friends and neighbors will enjoy the sounds too.
Right. And if you don't enjoy cooking, then don't cook. Well, I really should be making homemade meals. Says who?
Yeah.
Like, listen to yourself. We don't have to follow what everyone else does. We said it on the last episode. You can explore new habits. You can audition new habits and see if it fits for you. But if in this season that is not what you want, then don't do it. And the more we can, like, Sir Mix-a-Lot our lives, right? Like, be the hero of our own big butts, then we can, no, but really, like, the more we understand ourselves and can stand on our own, the more stable we are, the more predictable we are. And as we lean into habits and behaviors that bring us joy, this doesn't feel like punishment. We're not trying to get through something to the other side. We're not trying to just get it over with and then go back to old behaviors. We're making investments day by day. When I was 20, it was different. I just wanted to lose weight because it was vanity. But my health and wellness and mobility, it all matters in a real and significant way now. So again, as Donald said at the beginning, every time you hear yourself say should, and it's followed with some dread, really question it and pause. Who, like, says who? By what royal decree is this necessary?
Yeah, no kidding.
How can you adapt that and really tie in to the core of why these habits matter to you? Ask yourself why and why and why again, and really look at the variety of foods, activities, mindsets, podcasts, music, all the things that compose together to make you a version of yourself that you really love and embrace, and do it because you love it, not because it's some prescription from like an outdated paradigm that no longer serves you. So if we can Sir Mix-a-Lot our lives, and he mixed it up for his own life, we know you can too. There, I made it about Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Absolutely. And if I could just leave you with one final piece of advice, speaking of Sir Mix-a-Lot, it's to find someone who looks at you the way Sir Mix-a-Lot looks at a big butt.
Oh.
And stay with that person. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was worth it.
Thank you very much for listening. We really are grateful that you decided to spend some of your day with us listening to an episode of this show. The most recent 300 episodes of this podcast are available on all of the major podcast platforms. You can find them wherever you found this one, or you can go all the way back to the first episode and find them all on YouTube or anytime at our website, weonlylookthin.com.
Yep, and if you are at our website, click on that link for Join Our Support Group to find out more about Wolt Place. We Only Look Thin Place is our Facebook-based accountability group for women. Not only are we the Facebook group, but we are also the Zoom meeting. There, I don't know why I said it like that. We are the Zoom meeting.
We are the Zoom meeting.
I do weekly Zoom meetings. I do coaching calls. I do presentations. We do deep dives on subjects like this, but with PowerPoint. Hooray! PowerPoint makes everything better.
Hard to do PowerPoint on a podcast.
It is. But we're such a supportive group of people all on their own paths with their own plans, but we all come together unified to support one another, stay accountable, and get inspired and just really honest about the ups and downs of this journey venture. We have 2 subscription options, a monthly subscription with a 3-day complimentary trial and a 3-month subscription with a 7-day complimentary trial to see if Wolt Place is right for you. But I am so proud of the group. So please come and join us. Give us a try. I think you'll find it super fun.
I think you will as well. And you can also interact with us on social media. We are at We Only Look Thin on Instagram and Facebook. Or if you prefer to send us an email, you can do that as well. If you have a suggestion for an episode, if you would like to talk about how Sir Mix-a-Lot is also your hero, If you would like to, if there are ways that you have used the shoulds versus wants to help on your health and fitness journey, or if you just want to say hi, give us a compliment, you can do all of those things to weonlylookthin@gmail.com.
Yep, and if you have a couple of extra minutes, head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a rating and a review. Not only does it let us know that what we are doing for hours and hours a week, lots of time and effort and energy over 7 years consistently, nonstop, in your face. Wait, what was my point? Just please leave us a rating and a review. It would mean a lot. Give us 5 stars. Leave a nice word or two. It really helps us keep going after all of these years, and it helps other people find our podcast.
Yes, indeed. And another thing you could do that would really help us out is to tell somebody about the show. Word of mouth really does help the show grow. So if you know somebody that might get something out of it, if you're in a conversation and it comes up organically, or if you are on the internet, if you are in a Facebook group, a Discord server, or a subreddit, and it makes sense to give us a shout out, we would be really grateful because it does help the show grow.
Yep, and if you are imagining the mashup video between Sir Mix-a-Lot and Gretchen Rubin singing Baby's Got Back, just remember
now that I want to see
that Donald and I are
an inspiration. The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.